I feel so alone. Hey guys, just looking for some encouragement here. Sorry for the length of this, but I just want to paint the picture of my current situation. About a year before I decided that college wasn't what I wanted to do with my life. That was at age 19. I wanted to be an entrepreneur and be a free man. Back then I had tons of ideas but no plan of execution. Fast forward a year later to today. I am 20 years old. Have the rough draft of my first ever self-help book finished. Just trying to put the pieces together from here as I have no money, and need to have my book edited amongst other things. My plan is to sell this book and use the earnings from it, to have more books created for me. I want to be making $5,000 a month by the end of the next 6 months. My biggest goal right now is just moving out of this house. It stifles and decimates my drive and happiness living in this house. The big problem comes in because my parents hate the fact that I'm not going to college. They threaten to kick me out. They don't try to understand what I want for my future, nor does it seem like they care. They just want to be able to tell their friends my son is in college. Mind you, they never went themselves. My parents didn't get a great education growing up because they come from the islands, so they're really old school. I know they want the best for me, but they are very inconsiderate of my goals as an entrepreneur. It feels like I have nobody on my side. They don't ask about my progress. All they do is talk shit about me and brag about other people in college my age. They say I have no ambition, and that I'm a letdown to my family. That I'm lazy, and have no goals for my life. They don't know about all the nights I've spent writing down business plans and ideas for potential startups. They ignore and tell me to go to bed when I'm up at night working on my book. They ignore all the books I read and only see me playing video games, which, to be honest, I do spend a lot of time playing games. But I still have a plan for my life nonetheless. No money, I sleep in the living room of my parents' house. Nobody to support my vision. Friends I don't trust to share my vision with. All I have is my humbly small knowledge of business, my book, and a fire in my heart. If anybody can chip in with some advice, I'd be very grateful. I apologize from now for the grammatical errors as I'm just typing away in emotion. More action. There's some gold on here. People self-publishing and making money on Amazon Kindle. Not gonna hit your 5K a month, but it's something. Don't worry about friends or family. Gave up mine a long time ago. This is the road less traveled by. Thanks for the advice. Just curious as to why you say I won't hit the 5K goal. Kindle books are like $3 or something. You would have to sell 1.5K every month, and that market probably isn't that big. People doing 5K on Kindle have like 20 books. Lol. Here's a quick plan you can follow. Assuming you're done with your masterpiece, the self-help book you mentioned, write a bunch of smaller books on Kindle. Start building a following. Collect emails. Reinvest everything into advertising. Collect more emails. Release the masterpiece. I'm not a writer, and you should reach out to the people doing AMAs for self-publishing. This is just off the top of my head. Good luck, man. Amazon publishing is a bit of a gold rush right now. I've watched a number of people diving in thinking they're going to make big bucks, but the people really making the money are the ones selling courses on how to do it. That's not to say writing is a bad idea, it's definitely potentially fast lane. But consider this. If you're writing a self-help book and you're 20 years old and having trouble helping yourself, are you really in a position to deliver value to others? A lot of the information marketing industry is complete bullshit. People sell products on topics they know only a little bit about. I'm not saying you can't make a great resource without knowing lots. People do it. But a lot of the stuff getting pumped out is complete shit. Think of it this way. Do you think there would have been any good if MJ wrote it before he achieved success? Give this thread a read. Be careful though, because whenever you put yourself on a pedestal it's easy to look down on others. Not because people don't want to be fast lane, it doesn't mean that the relationships with them you have is no longer of use. My best friend doesn't want to be fast lane, he just wants a good salary to buy a nice place to live, nice car etc., and we're still best of friends. Well, you need to do something to bring in an income. As long as you are living off of your parents, they have a right to butt into your life. Self-sufficiency will do away with the problem. I'm sure that it is difficult to be supportive when you are sitting around their house with no money. This is true. I had something like 9 books when I first hit $1,000 per month. I've got 19 right now and flow between $2,000 and $3,000. Last month I made $2,400 and this month it looks like I'll get $2,200, $2,500. You can do it, but it takes work. There are very few who put out one book and that one book starts to make $5,000. My sales figures put me in the top 1% of all e-book sellers on, and not even I got $5,000 off just one book. Your chances are well less than 1%. I'd advise you to quit worrying about what your parents think, placing blame on them for your problems, and looking for empathy and for people to understand the path you want to take. Almost no one is going to understand your path, ever. If you do succeed, those same people still won't understand, they'll just tell you you're lucky, like work and effort and brain power had nothing to do with it. There's a subforum here with great information for self-publishers. Read it, take action. Thanks man, very sound advice. The topic of my book is something I'm very knowledgeable about. Not in pride or to toot my horn, but I must say that its quality tops a lot of books in the subject matter. Thanks for showing me this great post. Yeah, I definitely agree. I guess it just would be nice as a beginner taking this path, to have someone to rooting you on. Maybe you should be looking for perspective. I'm not here to burst your bubble, but let's look at it from your parents' perspective. You're living on their dime, under their roof. You skipped college and appear to mostly be playing video games. You've been writing a self-help book, despite the above, for the last year and are yet to publish, let alone make any money from it. Sure, they could probably spend more time getting to know what it is you're doing and why, and support you in that. But they have their own beliefs about the world that you're largely going against, and they're already supporting you in so many ways that that's going to be a stretch. You're going to be up against people and beliefs like this during your entire fast lane journey, and for the most part you can ignore them. But when you're living in their house and they're paying your way, they are investing in you and you're the one who has not yet delivered. When you do succeed, these same people will take credit for helping you. This is just the way of the world. Might as well get used to it. Maybe sounds familiar to yours. I made some decisions, and I had similar experiences with my parents, but in the end I learned that I needed to seriously consider their perspective. Then I just stopped talking to them about fast-lane-esque stuff, and found people I could talk about those kinds of ideas with. Had put it well. I had similar responses when I voiced a similar issue. All in. Wow, to be honest, I've never thought about it like that. In fact, I actually feel like a piece of shit after reading that. My hours spent on video games totally overlaps the hours spent on business endeavors. Damn, that hit me like a truck. Thank you for that. I read your post, and a lot of what you said reminds me of my exact same situation right now. It sucks when you have great intentions and want to share them with the people you love and care for the most, but it just seems like no matter how you put it, they just don't understand. So you are writing a self-help book, yet you can't help your own self? Uninstall all the games for time being might be a great idea, and after you do that, look ways to contribute around the house and work more on your dreams. I live in same house as my parents and they don't really mind me working on my ideas, because I am always working on them and also helping them too at times. I am also learning in school week a month, so they can see I am going somewhere. Quitting all the games is hard if you like games. I have installed or uninstalled some game 10 times. Every time I install it back, I can only play few hours before I uninstall it because I feel like I am cheating on my dreams. There is way too much things to replace gaming time with, like learning programming, marketing, writing, reading books about mindset and etc. Taking advice from me would be like taking swimming lessons from an aquaphobic, so this is just my 2-1. Set realistic expectations. Use this book as a process, not an event. 2. Explain to your parents about your goal and your process of attaining that goal. They won't understand, but they will at least appreciate the effort of communication. That may just give you enough clout for them to stay the execution. 3. Getting a job may not be a bad idea as long as you stay focused and put in your time for your goal. Again, gives you credit in your parents' eyes that at least you are owning your today responsibilities while planning for your future. Keep your chin up. Marathon. Chose the right roads and the right battles. Again, just my 2-Nate new venture. I've tried uninstalling too, but would find myself playing again. I'm gonna try some self-discipline and stay away from them, since they seem to be one of the bigger issues in my parents' eyes. Haha, if you want to be a smart ass, watch some free Harvard classes on YouTube, and make them think you are going to college. Lol, just putting some sense of humor in there. It didn't matter whether I was going to college or not, and doesn't matter I'm working on all this to be an entrepreneur. Didn't matter how many resumes, or looking for jobs. People don't care unless they see the money. It's all about money, and you're shit if you don't have it. It sounds negative, but the truth in this world, everyone has an agenda for your life. Someone always has objections to what you're doing. People are just annoying to me sometimes, because they aren't doing it themselves. I've been there. You just have to turn off the noise, keep working, and kind of just go with the flow until you get there. I have to do things I find is a waste of time, just to keep things afloat, and play the part. What can you really do, but just get along with people, and work on your projects at the same time? When you have the money, you won't have to listen to other people anymore complain about how you're lazy. You can start telling them how lazy they are, like the rest of the people in the fast lane. No pun intended, but I see it all the time, and not sure if everyone is actually there yet, but it seems you're lazy if you aren't there yet. Lol. Dude, I'm in similar situation, but I have 1 year to finish. High school. I stopped last year. I thought I will get my shit together during last year. Instead of doing something that would bring me at least 300 used a month, I effed around, making useless beats, taking on big projects and never finishing them. Now in about an hour I have to go to school to put my papers there so I could finish it part-time. Mission failed, but it's not over. Round 2. Now, 4 days ago I started publishing small Kindle books. I've got 2 sales for now, but it's better this than nothing. You might consider making small things on huge scale, rather than barely doing something big. Forget self-help books, find stuff that is less ambiguous. I mean, some people only sell parasols for drinks, and make dough. Don't limit yourself by having to be all self-help. Sure, write self-help. Or, offer to work for a true entrepreneur and get some experience. Who knows, find the right people and you might even get out of the house. Start to look at everything around you and how it was made and developed. Don't look for the easy path, just open yourself up to a daring adventure and charge forth. I would challenge you to take on a few small business opportunities online where you can easily prove to your parents that your skills are profitable. Write some unique articles for people in need of content. Charge $5 a piece. Take your earnings and buy your parents dinner. Now they know you are serious. I'm in a similar situation as well. No one understands what I'm trying to do and think I should be studying or teaching English or something. I live in Southeast Asia. I'm dying to move out of my parents' house, but I just don't have enough cash at the moment. But I'm forcing myself to build some more income streams, and my goal is to move out in the next few months. All of my income comes from online sources, which means I spend almost all of my time at home. It can be quite lonely. Anyways, I think it would be better to focus on a business that can generate fast cash, like offering some type of service. Kindle businesses can be profitable, but it takes time to build a fan base and create enough momentum for a steady income. That's what I think. You're not alone. We know what you're going through. Sorry to hear about trouble at home. That can be a real motivation killer. Try to get out of the house as much as you can to work on your craft. Another thing. Got to agree with everyone else. I made the same mistake when I first started. I wanted to make money online and thought I'd do it by starting a blog teaching people how to make money online. Doesn't work like that. Become an authority in your field or actually accomplish what it is you want to tell people about writing about it. Don't just regurgitate information on a topic you know nothing about. You won't be providing any meaningful value and the market will call you out on it. Are you doing anything to make money right now? You have grandiose plans to make $5,000 a month off ebooks but haven't published one yet and spend a ton of time playing video games. Seriously, if I were your parents, I would be pissed and unsupportive too. That's great that you read a lot of books and spent hours coming up with startup ideas, but it's time to get moving and either get a real job for a while or prove that you can be self-sufficient. Hey man, first things first, congrats on making the decision on what you don't want, to be enrolled in college when it doesn't inspire you. This is a huge step in the entrepreneurial process. I personally went to college, but a lot of my entrepreneur friends who now run larger companies either dropped out of college or never went. One of my interns recently quit too because he realized it was stifling his growth. You can certainly grow a lot quicker when you're not doing shit that doesn't inspire or help you, and because you are a product of your environment, I highly suggest getting out of your parents' house as soon as humanly possible, because being around them will stifle your growth. Not because they're bad people, have wrong beliefs, or whatever, but simply because they don't understand yet and don't have the results in life that you want. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. If you've written a book about self-help, you've heard this quote time and time again. It is the truth. Do whatever you possibly can to get out of your parents' house, because while you're there, you're going to be living under their lifestyle by the nature of the situation. Now, with that premise of wanting to move out, remember, as you mentioned, that your parents love you. They want to see you succeed. They want you to follow your dreams. They just might not believe that it's possible or share the same vision as you. They just don't know what you're going through, and that's okay. That happened to me when I started my first company and decided to move all the way across the country to move into an entrepreneurial community that I knew would help me grow 10x faster. My parents didn't really understand, but they supported me once I communicated to them that regardless of what happens, I have to give it a shot. I told them, I know you love me, and I'd love your support with this. This is what I'm going to do. And from that decision alone, I've hung out and learned from some of the best internet marketers out there, most of which you've heard of. It seems unreal to me, but 12 months after moving away from my hometown and closer to entrepreneurs changed my entire life. I want the same for you. Especially since my parents and family began to come around and are starting to share the entrepreneurial enthusiasm with them now that I'm showing them what's possible. It's contagious. But let's get real for a second. You're going to need a job. Get your own money to support your ventures. If that needs to be a dead-end job like bartending or something, do it. I had a past client of mine just move down to where I'm living, and although he had absolutely no money when he came, His life trajectory is changing because he's consistently around people who have the results that he wants in life. He's working random jobs to pay the bills, but in the spare time, his business is growing slowly but surely. It'll cover his expenses soon. And although his business isn't there yet, you know what is? His happiness. He knows he's on the right path and it shows. His business is growing faster than when it did when he was living around people who didn't give a shit about creating their own lives, and he's enjoying the process every step of the way, even the hard times. So remember this: proximity equals power. Read that over and over again. Proximity is power. The closer you can get to the people who are living like you want to live, the better. Hang out with millionaires all day and soon enough you'll be a millionaire. It's the law of averages. To sum it up, my advice is this: get a job. Get some cash saved up. Move in with some entrepreneurs, or closer to them. There are plenty of startup hubs and co-working spaces around the world. I highly suggest hanging out there as much as you can and moving out of your parents' house ASAP. You'll be much happier and you won't start to resent your parents for holding you back, because the only ones that can hold us back from our desires is ourselves. It's not about who will let me, it's about who will stop me. Howard Rourke in The Fountainhead. I think, X just my two. You got this, my man. Max, I honestly don't think I've ever gotten advice that had resonated with me that much. It means so much to me that you took the time to write all of that. I'm laying here going over your words of encouragement. Thank you so much. I actually think I'm gonna print this, lol. Thanks again, man. I know we're all gonna make it. Your current situation is not a problem. It's a challenge. It's nature's or life's or the universe's way of showing you an area that will provide personal growth, paid with a currency called adversity. I'm curious which self-help sub-niche you've picked. Mind telling us? Sure. I'm making a pick-up book that focuses on developing general communication skills. Not just focus on getting girls. But before I get told that market is crowded, I've actually put a spin on my book that makes it different from the rest. I plan to use that spin on different self-help niches. The Unexperienced's Guide to Picking Up Any Girl. Don't take offense to this, but being an entrepreneur f***ing sucks. Gotta get that through your head. Sometimes you have your rough days, sometimes you have your good days. Success is not a straight line, it's loops, circles with a ton of failure involved, with a lonely path. As long as you don't stop and keep pushing forward, you're making progress. Learn from your failures and keep learning. The problems you have right now are just potholes and obstacles. You will overcome them eventually. Remember, good things in life are not easily obtainable, and if they are, everyone would have the good life. Then again, in business you just have to be right once. Who cares what everyone else thinks? Don't pay attention to them. They only bring you down because they don't want to see you succeed. Just do you and look at it from your parents' eyes. They are worried about you. They are angry at the same time. It's not because of the college decision. They just don't know what or where you are going to end up. They just want to know. They haven't seen anything happen yet, so they are worried. Just assure them that you understand how they feel. And do something about it. 1st, you need to help yourself, change up your environment, kick yourself into gear. If you want to write the book on picking up girls, do it. It never hurts to try. Going to put a twist on it, do it. If it doesn't work, hey, you learn, try something else. It's a grind. Grab some useful skills, learn new valuable skills, get a job, learn from people, make connection, look for problems. Don't dwell in the past. What's done is done. Yesterday is history, tomorrow's mystery, and today is a gift. Use it wisely. Good luck, mate. It sucks to see what you are going through, but I know you are headstrong enough to make it past theses challenges. Cheers. My input is that you have to talk to people. You can't hide behind a computer. Go out and talk to real people in the real world, ask them how you can help them, and do it. When I've hid behind a computer, I've failed. When I've talked to real people, I've succeeded. Just food for thought. Thank you for such amazing words, my friend. No problem. I'm glad it resonates with you. Keep us in the loop and go have some fun. Actually, being an entrepreneur is f***ing awesome. You get to work when you want, with who you want, whenever you want. Does that come with challenges? Of course. Your insecurities come up fast. Have a fear of going broke and losing all your money? It's gonna come up. Feel like you're an outsider and that no one understands you? It's gonna come up. Not know what the hell you're doing and trying to figure out how to actually provide a service that people want? It's gonna come up. This is a godsend to have these things come up. Because when they do, you get to examine your beliefs around them. You get to see that your beliefs do not always equal reality. You get to change your beliefs and change your life for the better. It may be hard, but it's certainly easier than taking the common path to life misery. The people in your life are just doing their best. No one is consciously trying to put you down or make you fail. They're only doing it as a result of their own fear, shame, or guilt. Everyone is a good person, and if you can accept that, making decisions for yourself becomes a lot easier. I'm entirely grateful for my haters now, because they show me things that I still haven't worked out in myself. By the way, I've written articles, published books, and started a coaching company revolved around helping entrepreneurs have better dating lives. Since you Javon are looking to get into that area. If you'd like some advice or whatnot, PM me. Keep on keeping on Max. Will do, Max, will do.